Hi everyone, welcome to Dave's Bonsai. On today's episode, 8 days on the road, I'm ready for some bonsai work. So I just had the amazing privilege to go take a road trip with my son Toby, my daughter Jordan, her boyfriend Joe, and I, in a van. We drove to Zion National Park, and we then went to the Grand Canyon and spent 3 days down in the canyon. An absolute mind-blowing experience. Done a lot of camping in our time. This is at the top, tied for the top, or a close second to the Beartooth Mountains. I've got a couple pictures I can show you here, just a few. I'll show some more in a later episode, but this was just absolutely stunning. So this is August 1st through August 8th on the road, 3,680 miles from start to finish. And it was an absolutely amazing time, breathtaking views, scary moments, tense moments, and an experience that I will cherish for the rest of my life. So when I got back to Minnesota just last night at about 11:30 p.m. after a 14 or 15 hour day on the road, that day coming home, the last day and a half, 2 days, always the toughest part. Super excited this morning though to wake up after sleeping in on my own bed and checking out the bonsai trees. So I got a chance to walk around a couple of times this afternoon, and there's a few that I have to work on. And there's a few that I thought I could give you some updates on because I haven't updated them for a few weeks since putting them on a show. So first up today, let's get a close-up of this ficus. I'll give you the spin around. One of my cuttings from the Melon Seed Ficus from one of the MBS workshops from a few years back. Things just growing crazy thick in this pot. And we're gonna go ahead and just trim it up. So it has this last bit of 3 weeks in August and September to push out growth before it goes back down in the plant room. So I'm super excited to give this one a trim in this old Japanese pot. Got some symbols on there. Very fun, very thick. So I've cut a few of my other ficuses recently, chopped them down real low, and they're already starting to come back too. Maybe that'll be some of the updates for today. So we're gonna take a peek at this tree, and we've got just a lot of growth. We're just gonna make this super nice and compact and bring it down because we know we'll get a lot of growth here at the end of summer. And this has just been a completely clip and grow cutting. It was probably a cutting this thick at one time, right here. And all kinds of growth splitting off. This is a fairly new branch, maybe this summer. So I even have some lower I could cut down to there, and this would be some movement in this lower branch. We'll see when I get that far down. So this guy right here, if I go down to 3 or 4 leaves, 3 or 4 leaves, 3 or 4 leaves. Here's one of those typical ficus patterns where this is the branch right here, but this is a leaf that's grown right there. You can either pluck it off or slightly cut it off. This is another one kind of back here, which could grow into a new branch actually. We're going to leave that there. It's actually not right underneath the growth. So that branch is shorter right now. We may cut more off later as well. This back branch I can't see unless I turn it around to the back. So it's super thick back here. Take my glasses off so I can get a closer look. So we've got this branch right here. Boom, 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 boom. Nice left-right pattern, and this one coming up here with a boom, boom. All of this can come off and support this branch right here. We'll definitely cut it back to here. Just cut off all that branching. And it favors these two down here now. I think I'm gonna even go a little bit lower. Cut that off. And this is an inside branch technically, so I'm gonna cut that off. And then this becomes the new kind of leader of that branch after some of that movement. And it's got this front part of that branch right here with all kinds of growth. So I'm gonna cut it this way to cut these two off. And I'm gonna cut the inside branch off here. I'm gonna cut it down to 4 or 5 branches 2 leaves on that one, 3 leaves on that one. So from the back, I just cut that whole thing off. You can't even see it from the front right now. But it's got some nice movement, natural movement from clip and grow. We'll let that go right there for now. Then we got this coming out at us here. This branch right here. So it's down here. Right here. That branch, super thick. There's another branch up here trying to get super thick and tall before it goes off to that side, which is the nice big branch. And if we keep this branch, we want it to maybe go back up towards the left. So we'll cut this one branch right off here and cut off all that growth. We'll cut down to 3 or 4 leaves. And it leaves this big bushy center one back here. You can see this new growth right here. It's coming towards the camera a little bit, but not too bad. That's below a cut point from before. So here's the cut point from before, and all of this shoot took off like crazy. It's got another one going inside. We'll cut the inside branch off. We'll cut this one in the front off right here. It's growing more towards the camera. You can see the nice movement in there. And this will be a bold cut, but see all this lovely branching? Let's let this be the new leader. Let's cut it all off. And this will make for a fantastic cutting right there. A couple of these will. I just cut that whole center branch off. Look how small that is. But that's how aggressive we're going to be this time of year when we've got a couple of months of good growth yet. Cut this one back one more time. And this might even come off too. We'll see. So then back in here on this guy, since we're cutting so much off, we'll cut the front one off after I cut that tall one off. We've got 2 branches growing off of the back side of that right there. So we'll just see which one grows stronger. There's another one of those leaves that's growing. But there, we have a branch here and here that will become more the main branch. We'll cut this one lower as well. We're going to cut this one lower as well. This one off. And that one lower. And you can see that one I cut second now. And then back in here, a lot of mess in here. We're going to cut the top off. And from the front, I'm just going to cut that one down to size, cut this tip off. We'll just leave it right there for now. We've got 2, 3 branches growing off here. We'll see which one grows best. Outside facing branch here, backwards facing branch, just shorter, shorter. And we've got these guys. I'm going to cut all that off so we can see this branch growing this way. That branch might come off one day, but we'll leave it for now. We'll cut this one shorter. That one shorter. That one shorter. Looking for those outside facing branches. And there's the little tree. So this is all the foliage we cut off. We'll get a good cutting on this one. We'll get a good cutting on that guy. And the rest, yeah, we'll stick a couple in the ground. I like these watermelon, these Melon Seed Ficuses. We'll stick a couple into the pot that I have outside right over to my left, and we'll keep those and get those potted. So we cut over 75% of the leaves off this tree. I think I'm going to cut the one facing me off. Cleans up the look a little bit. Cut this tip off. I'm going to cut this one shorter. And there we have a real cleaned up little tree. Got a couple of bigger leaves in here. They're on the inside track that we can kind of just cut off. Give it even more air, more light to go through to help promote this new growth. Any leaf that's kind of on the inside. A lot of ones that you will not see on the camera, but I can see. And we'll put this out and let this continue to grow. So there's another Melon Seed Ficus. We cut it almost in half with the height. We're back down to some of these main structures, and hopefully these will shoot out a whole bunch of more growth. I'll get a lot of back budding even down in here like this one back budded. And maybe we'll even cut it down shorter. And we'll keep letting it get thicker and bigger. And it's a great little shohin tree in a really nice old Japanese pot. Let's peek at a couple of updates for today. The first updates for today are from the workshop we did about a month ago. Just under a month ago with the Minnesota Bonsai Society. We worked on a Premna and a Melina, also known as the parrot's beak. So this is one of 3 trees. You can see all of the little growth inside. So we have all this new growth. I'll give you a before shot before I cut everything away, the after shot, so what bare branches I left, and now this is the growth for less than 4 weeks of growth here. Right here, super duper 2 little leaves right there, left and right. That's growing right there above this one that I'm holding down. And there's all kinds of little ones like that throughout. So let me give it a little spin here. I've got some little leaves throughout coming around right here. That tip right there is almost all new. Some little bitty branches, leaves growing in there. This is new growth, this is new growth, all this little fine stuff. And back to the front. There's a new leaf down here, way down low. We got back budding back here, which is always great to see. Back budding way in here. So the tree back buds really nice, which is what we always hope for. So we cut back, we leave some leaves, we hope for the best. And so it's gonna just fill out and bush out and look pretty good here at the end of this summer, and we'll bring it inside for the winter months in my plant room. So that is the Melina. We'll put that aside and grab out now the Premna. So these 2 Premnas were tangled together. I split them into 2. And here is tree number 1 that I just made into this 1 stalk leaning tree. It hasn't back budded back in here at all yet, but this branch right here has a nice back bud right there. And all of these getting some new back buds way deep in there, some little growth. We'll circle around. And here, there's all kinds of little back budding back here, down here, on this branch right here. That's what I was talking about. There's some new buds growing in there, some really small growth here. And here, after the normal bigger leaves, these are all the small leaves. So filling up nicely. Not tremendously rapidly, but super nice growth. So that's some nice movement there on that tree with new growth. So this is the second half now of the 2 that was a twin trunk. I thought I split them up again with the before and after shots together as one, separated into 2, trimmed it out to almost nothing on this one. This was super bare. I was a little nervous about this one, but so far it's coming along nicely. So you'll notice on this one a lot of really nice new growth, so I'm super excited. I had a puff of growth here, a puff of growth here, here and here, and the middle was looking kind of scraggly. And I'm sure people at the workshop that saw these trees were wondering, oh my gosh, what did Dave do? But look at this new growth right there. Super tiny little growth. Look at this growth right there. A little close to the armpit of this branch, but then up here, boom, 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 and boom. Down here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and on this branch back here, you can hardly see them, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Way down here at the base, some back budding right there and right there. We could keep some of those branches. So now I know later on next year I can cut all of these off even shorter, and all of these are going to create new branches on this one that swoops to the left and kind of goes all over the place. I don't know what the end design is going to look like on this one, but it's growing, it's back budding. It's got a month and a half for sure to grow out here before we put it in the plant room for the slower growth and the winter months with the artificial light. So there is Premna number 2. It's always super nice to see growth on the tree, especially when they're new to you. So all of these have been sitting on my bench now for a little over 3 weeks, and all these little leaves, we got the heat of August here. We're gonna have some more warmth even into September, I'm sure, the way the season has been going. We're gonna get nice new growth. We'll set it up for the plant room, and we'll be ready for next year. My next update for today is this Green Island Ficus, or it's the Microcarpa. It might be a Green Island from the Minnesota Bonsai class from about 3 years ago, where I took a cutting of about this thick, this branch right here, and now we got it at about a ½ inch. I cut almost all the leaves off on here and cut it way back just a few weeks ago. So I'll show you a before shot right now. So my Ficus Microcarpa, if that's what it is. If anybody can zoom up on this and tell me more precisely what it is. We got a nice trim on it today. And just to show you how quickly this came back and vigorously came back after those cuts. So just a quick update on the Microcarpa, or the Green Island Ficus, and how it popped back after that really nice prune just a few weeks ago. And the last update today is the Fukin Tea. I had left this long branch in the back as my only long branch after pruning it up. There we go. So there is the Fukin Tea. It's been 5 months since I pruned it. It's the middle, towards the end of June. Now it can just go crazy for the rest of the summer. And we'll see what happens when we put it in for the fall and go back down into the plant room. The Fukin Tea. We'll give that a spin. And I had no other growth on it till about 2 weeks ago or so. I started to see some new branches shooting out. Now, again, I was gone on vacation on a road trip for the last 8 days, traveling over 3,000 miles. And in the time I've gone, all the new shoots that I saw about a week and a half ago completely took off on me. So let's point them out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, over 16, pushing 20 new branches that are really going to take off and thicken up this tree. So this Fukin Tea was trimmed again recently, bringing it outside for the summertime growth and doing really, really well. So the Fukin Tea update. The trees are all back on the bench and loving life. I'm certainly loving being back home, to be in the garden, get to sleep in my own bed, and I get to eat some better food. Yeah, the road food, you know, it can get the best of you. But the trees are liking life, and I think the summer dormancy will slowly start to ease up now. We'll get some more growth in August and into September and October for many of these trees. The tropicals, of course, will head inside by October, most likely. Got some Japanese beetles that still show up on the Siberian elms from time to time, but most of them have been in check. It's good to be amongst the trees. Click like, subscribe if you haven't already. So glad that you're watching Dave's Bonsai. We'll catch you on the next one. Take care of you, take care of your bonsai, and we'll see you very, very soon.